I'm not crying. You're crying. This was another low-key episode, ladies and gentlemen, and the jokes will be kept to a minimum. We do have some stuff to get into, so let's get into it. We open up with Jinwoo and Essel right after the defeat of the demon monarch Baran, and Jinwoo is finally ready to craft the elixir of life so he can save his mother. The entire purpose of him becoming a hunter in the first place. The last item he receives is the purified blood of the demon monarch, which still needs to be purified even further by the other two items in the elixir for it to be a viable medicine. The amount and potency of the elixir is determined by his intellect stat, and he receives 6 vials after crafting it. Honestly, this was a little bit of a tense moment because I simply wasn't sure whether something would go wrong, but we all get to breathe a sigh of relief. So Iron drags over Kaiselin's beheaded corpse to be helpful, and Jinwoo is able to extract yet another powerful shadow. There is no doubt that for the rest of the series that Kaisel is here for, Jinwoo's aura farming levels will have a 2x multiplier. Okay, this man will be riding a dragon. Essel wants to party with Jinwoo back at her dad's castle, but Jinwoo wants to cure his mother as quickly as possible. He's also missing a runestone from the loot, but there are 4 other items that we do get to see. The Demon Monarch sword, which I've seen already in other content, and the Demon Monarch's dagger, the Demon Monarch's ring, and Baran's horn, all of which I haven't seen. And Jinwoo now has another OP ability, Shadow Exchange, which allows him to instantly switch places with one of his shadow soldiers. Now it does come with a 3-hour cooldown, so it won't be useful in combat yet, but of course, it can be leveled up. He leaves Essel to go back home alone because he immediately wants to try the elixir on his mother. I totally understand, but I do feel bad for Essel. A shadow shows up in place of him before Essel gets to confess to him, and he arrives in an alleyway where the soldier was on patrol. Interestingly, system shows a notification saying the dungeon will revert back to normal. I'm not 100% sure on this, and I won't be looking it up just to, get my facts straight, but I wonder if Essel and her family have been transported back home to the Demon Realm. Jinwoo takes off on Kaisel, and we cut to Manager Wu, who is still without any sunglasses, while he talks to Chairman Go about the upcoming Hell in a Cell match on Jeju Island. The refined plan involves a signal which will disrupt the ant hive mind. The ants are still to be lured in by the strong magical power of the hunters as a decoy, and they still will have a strike team of hunters go in to destroy the queen while everyone is distracted. If the signal doesn't work or the plan falls apart, withdrawal is a viable option. The preparedness of the hunters is really the only thing they have control of. The association has been trying to get in contact with Jinwoo, but he's been gone for, I guess, an entire week. Baek Yoon-ho is having a meal with his buddy and former teammate, the retired Byung-gu. He's there to tell him about the upcoming raid, and Byung-gu wonders why he's going back after the tragedies they suffered after the last raid. Yoon-ho tells him it's because the ants will essentially keep making landfall further and further in, and that'll put the entirety of Korea at risk. That's clearly partially true, but it's also because Yoon-ho is a warrior, and that's kind of just what he does. He kills magical beasts. Jinwoo is at the hospital with his mother. This is the moment of truth, and he's struggling with the possibility of it not working. All of his hope is riding on this. He recalls the memory behind a scar on her neck where he accidentally caused her to get burned as a child. Everything he has suffered since becoming a hunter, every near death, every hospital stay, every wound and insult has been for this. He's done all he can now, and it's time to have faith. It works. The elixir works. And bro, I was cooking in the kitchen watching this and I had to make sure she woke up. I didn't think it would hit me in the feels in the way it did, but it felt good. It also felt good to see Jinwoo cry those tears of relief and joy. Yes, those are the tears of a man.
Just some manly ass ass tears right there that you looking at.
And if you've ever been in a position where you've sacrificed and prayed and hoped and done everything that you can for people that you love and it works out, you probably know exactly what those tears feel and look like. This also marks, I assume, the first time an eternal sleep patient has woken up. Chairman Go announces to the public some details about the upcoming Hell in a Cell match, including the fact that Japan will be lending its strongest hunters as aid to make sure the ants are destroyed once and for all, and they can move past their previous failures and tragedies. This, in the context of the solo leveling world, would be a big deal. This is a Japanese adaptation of a Korean comic. In the version of the show specifically for Japanese audiences, apparently, the names are changed to Japanese names, and the setting of the show is in Japan. I believe Korea, at least to this point in the show, has been essentially completely cut out, which is the most Japanese thing of all time to do. I mean, if you want to know why this is funny, just Google what did Japan do to Korea, and that should explain some things. Jinu and Chairman Go hang out in his office, and Jinu is having some anxiety and reservations about the upcoming raid. He now has everything to lose after just getting it back, and the fear of death, but really the fear of leaving his family behind, is in the back of his mind. He senses some strong magical power, and Chairman Go invites him down to the gym where Bae Kyun-ho is getting in some exercise, probably while listening to some dad rock. Hell, he might even be listening to that Shawty Lo song that had the NFL YouTube highlights game in a chokehold back in the day. If you're post like 2012 or 2013 on YouTube, you wouldn't understand what it was like back in the day. The golden years, baby. Anyways, Jongin Choi shows up as well, and they observe the fight. Japan's hunters roll in, and they start the disrespect immediately. Goto Ryuji scopes out Jinu and immediately recognizes the dog in him. But everybody else is getting disrespected. The tomboy translator immediately starts glazing Guildmaster Ryuji.
Oh, you're so amazing. You make other S-ranks look like bombs.
While she's talking, another Guildmaster walks up and confronts her.
Oh! Hey, quiet on that side now, isn't it, boy?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Then after that disrespect, we find out he's an A rank who won't even be taking part in the raid. He's part of the security team.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
No wonder. Bro, if you don't sit your Dylan Brooks ass down somewhere and know your place. Ryuji wants to do some sparring, and Chairman Go thinks that's a great idea. He proposes any mages or non-combatants to sit out, which would include Jinu. Bae Kyun-ho sets up what is essentially a game of tag. You lose if you get touched on your back, your wrist is grabbed, or anything but your feet touch the floor. Oh, but these aren't one-on-one singles matches. These boys are doing a Survivor Series Team SmackDown versus Team Raw War Games match. And roll credits. Apparently this episode was pretty negatively received by some people. I've heard it could be because that there were even more scenes cut from the manhwa. One of them, I assume, involved Thomas Andre, a national hunter from America and the leader of the guild that the Sung family punching bag, Hwang Dong-soo, is a part of. I'm an anime only, and I will remain that way, but I understand where the annoyance could be coming from. Adaptations are a whole different game though. I enjoyed the episode, and I'm ready to see Cha Hae-in and Bae Kyun-ho in action, even if it's a friendly contest. Alright, peace out.